Welcome. Today we are going to decode the finer nuances of household insurance, how to read the fine print of your home insurance policy and what to keep in mind while buying one. Rahul Agarwal, CEO Optima Insurance Brokers, joins us in the Delhi studio, and from Mumbai, Mr. Harsh Rungta, founder and CEO of apnapaisa.com, joins us. Rahul, let me begin with you. The one point that we've been raising across this three-part series is, why don't people go for a household insurance? I mean, such a basic requirement for a home. You spend so much money, time and effort into designing, buying a home. Why not a householder's policy?
So there are two main points why people are not buying home insurance. The first point is that insurance by and large is sold. So somebody has to go and educate the customer on the insurance policy, and then the customer buys the policy. Home insurance is extremely low cost product. So therefore, what a distributor makes on home insurance is so piddly, so small, that they have no interest in going and educating the customer.
Right.
So that is the first point. Second point is that most home insurance policies ask customers, ask insureds to submit a list of all the contents that they have, which is made a part of the policy. Now, first of all, the making of a list is so painstaking that many times people just don't want to do it. They get into the procrastinating mode. Okay, we'll do it next Sunday, next Sunday, next Sunday. That is one. Which also means that the distributor has to now go and visit the customer not once but twice, thrice to get the list done.
Oh.
So economics of the whole thing don't work out for the distributor, and hence it is not pushed as a product.
So like administratively it's quite a challenge to enforce this policy.
Yes, initially to get the policy done. But the good thing is that now some insurance companies have come out with products which do not require any lists at all. You can choose a value and the policy can be done on the same value. So which means that you may have contents of, let us say, 10 lakh rupees in a house, but if you take a policy of 3 lakh rupees, the policy will cover your losses up to 3 lakh rupees.
Okay, all right. Mr. Rungta, would you say that apart from these challenges, that these administrative challenges that Rahul just highlighted, is it also an issue of mindset that people don't think that it's important enough to get a householder's policy?
Oh, absolutely. I think as in our country we always hope and pray in all fields of life that God will look after us. In fact, if you look at all the personal lines of insurance that are sold, they are either sold because there is a tax benefit attached to it. So that's true of life insurance, that's true of medical, or there is a statutory requirement or a perceived statutory requirement. So that's true of car insurance. Now car insurance, what is statutorily required is third party, but since he is anyway got to take that, he takes a comprehensive policy. So either the law requires you to take it, or there is a tax benefit that is pushing it. Householders has neither. It does not have a tax benefit. It does not have, as Rahul mentioned, it doesn't have enough of a premium or a distributor's commission to make it worthwhile for the distributor. It's administratively cumbersome. Unlike some of the other countries, in the US, householders is very popular. They stay in wooden houses, they stay in standalone houses. Here, I mean, my base policy, it's useless if I take it alone. I mean, if I take a fire policy for my flat, that's okay if it's a fire that affects only my flat. But if there is an earthquake, it's going to affect the entire building, and what the payment on the policy just for me is not going to help me put up that flat all over again. So I think there are all these challenges apart from the fact that personal lines of business are not something that the insurance companies themselves have pushed. So I think all these facts combined together have ensured that householders insurance is a little known insurance in India.
Right, okay. Is it also the fact, would you clear this misconception, Mr. Rungta, that the premiums that you have to pay for householders policy is very high? People tend to have this misconception given that they consider that the value of their house is high, so the premium must be high as well.
I think the premium is one of the lowest in the world, at least that is what some of the research papers that I have read tells me. Because essentially you are not required to cover the cost of the land, you just required to cover the construction cost. High as that is in India, it's still as a construction cost as a percentage of the total value of your property is very, very small. 0.05% of that a year is pretty not a very large premium at all. So I think the base premium is pretty affordable. The issue is typically if you will take a householders, you will take a contents, you will take a valuables policy, it is those add-ons, if I may, that probably are properly priced, I mean can be quite expensive, especially the valuables add-on, but I think it gives a lot of gives a lot of value add for the consumer, and they should definitely look at that.
What about old homes? Is there like an age limit for the property that you can get insured?
There is no age limit, but in case there is a damage to the property and you're not able to build the property again, the insurance company will pay you a depreciated price of the property, which is approximately 2% per annum depreciation. So which means the older the house is, the lesser money you will get from the insurance company in case you're not able to build it again. If you're able to build it again, the insurance company will pay you the building cost, actual building cost, up to the sum insured.
All right. Mr. Rungta, I'd like closing comments from you to all those viewers who will now start thinking about a householder's policy. What would be your advice? What should they look out for? Like I asked Rahul, what could be the possible loopholes that they may miss out on noticing?
I think in householders, rather than loopholes, I think consumers should be looking at that policy. Fires don't happen to other people, they will happen to you. Burglaries, I mean, all of us are aware of a friend or somebody in the family who has gone through a burglary. I think not covering these risks and leaving it open to fate or God is taking a big financial risk. And with these policies being available and at very reasonable premiums, I would suggest that people should look at these package policies. I don't think there are loopholes, or it is popular enough for these loopholes to have emerged. Right now, the advice is please look at this policy.
All right, Mr. Rungta, thank you so much for joining us from Bombay. Always a pleasure speaking to you. Rahul, thank you for your valuable insights.
Pleasure.
That's it for today. You must consider the advice and tips offered by our experts today. You invest so much of your time and money in your home, so investing in a home insurance policy is still fairly simple. After all, your actions today will determine the future of your family. It's now time for a quick break on Property It's Hot.